goober. You're a goober, Miss Ladybug.
Wow, that was a lot of work.
Well, we're always trying not to chop our heads off. We're still on kind of an angle, but that's okay, I guess.
Chopping my head off is okay.
Depends on the day of the week.
Hey friends, you're watching BrainStormAcres. I'm Henry.
And I'm Irene.
And today, Irene's going to be going through an early Christmas present that we bought and explain why we bought this. And
right.
I'm going to take Isa into the other room so she doesn't get in the box.
She's decided that this is a very cool place to sit. If you've followed us for a while, you know we do a huge amount of gardening here. We have a garden in our yard, and we also have a greenhouse, and we grow a lot of our own groceries in terms of vegetables. And for multiple years, we've been using the standard 10-20 trays like these. In fact, we actually bought another set of them last year. We bought, I think, 5 new top trays and 5 new bottom trays, and also some domes for starting seeds. And these were the best ones we could find. And you know, I'm looking at this is from this year's batch, and it's already cracked. And it's not that I'm banging the things around, it's just that they're just not that sturdy. And when you have this thing full of dirt and it's dry, it's pretty darn light. But as soon as you get some water in there, which obviously you need to grow plants, and God forbid you should have some plants in there, these things break, and just sort of sick of it. So we've been looking actively at other options that we might buy, and we looked at Bootstrap Farmer, and we looked at Haas Tools, and we looked at other sources to see if they made anything stronger than these standard ones. And this year we decided to settle on Haas Tools. Now, the reason we decided to settle on them was because they're actually using them in the field. Now, what I mean by that is Travis or his other buddy there, they'll grab these things and just take them out of the field, and they're not treating them as if they're made out of cut glass and they're going to shatter at any moment. They're not beating them to death, but they're just using them in a normal fashion. And we decided it was worth the investment. So we bought ourselves an early Christmas present. And the reason I'm opening it right now is because they sort of beat the box to death, and I do want to make sure that the actual contents came here in one piece. So let me get this thing sliced open. This box weighs like 35 pounds, so it's a very awkward size. I mean, carrying it was kind of like, how do I do this, you know? We got 100 wooden stakes and the markers to go with them, because this year I had some problems with, not too much, but just a couple of things getting lost. I still have a couple of tomatoes in the greenhouse that I don't know what they are. And I am always tremendously annoyed by that because, you know, I'm growing one kind of pak choy. I can spot a pak choy at 30 yards. It's not a problem. But if I've got 10 different kinds of tomatoes, I really do want to know what they are. And if you're not an experienced gardener, you may wonder what the big deal is. Well, I grow both determinate and indeterminate tomatoes. What that means is determinate tomatoes will stay fairly small, fairly compact. This is as big as they're getting, and that's the way they stay, and they just produce fruit on there, and that's it. Indeterminate tomatoes will grow like a weed and extend and go and all kinds of stuff. So I can't plant those as close together. If I'm trying to set up a section that's all determinate tomatoes, and I don't know what a tomato is, you know, type of tomato is, and I throw in something that's indeterminate, it could make a heck of a mess. It's not impossible, it's not the end of the world, but let's keep this simple. So, let's see what we have in here. We have a little catalog. We have this. And then we have what we were really waiting for, This, by the way, will go down to the workshop. I like the fact that they're using completely recyclable stuff here. This paper is great for starting a wood stove. And I actually, my jewelry supplier also uses paper like this, and it's great. I hate it when I get a whole bunch of plastic in my shipments. Okay, here's what we have. Oh, these are monsters. Total monsters. Wow. It's a 162 cell tray, and man, I can hardly even make this thing flex. This is impressive. If you go to Haas Tools and check out their website, they actually have a little video there where somebody steps on this, and then they compare this to a regular 1020 tray where you step on it and it turns into a flat pancake. So this is impressive. You know, I've seen these online a bunch, and I've seen them in use at the Haas Tool Gardens, but man, that is sturdy. That is some sturdy. That probably weighs 10 times what those other guys do. So we've got 5 of these. We'll leave this against the cat tree over there. In case you're wondering what I'm leaning it against. There's a cat tree over there, because everybody who has a cat needs a cat tree. Oh, I see what they did. I thought this was 1 box. It's actually 2 boxes. Clever. Did not notice that. I was too busy being concerned about the fact that they had kind of beat this poor thing up. We're kind of out of sticks, so by the time packages get to us, a lot of times they look like they've been rolled from the factory. This is cool. This is actually 2 boxes. That's actually more useful for me, because I was kind of wondering what I was going to do with this giant box. Well, the answer is nothing. There we go. And that means I've got another box underneath here. I'll have to think about that. I probably could actually store something in there that's weird shaped. Now, one of the things that made us hesitate for a while there when it came to buying these was, in the past, they did not have trays that these could be used with. And we live in a super dry climate, so in order for me to keep plants alive, and I mean, we're home most of the time, but we're not always home. Even watering these 2 or 3 times a day might not be enough to keep seedlings alive when we're really hitting hot, dry temperatures. So this year, they came up with something new. And I know they had to bring them in all the way from Great Britain. Here they are, the trays, the bottom trays. Oh, wow, that is impressive. Woohoo, that is impressive. They said that it would be bigger than the... Oh, but that's fine. It makes it easy for me to pour water in. I like that. I like that. And if I really wanted to squish things in, I could actually put a couple of pots on the end here. Yeah, they were talking about it in their videos, the fact that... Oh, Lord, that's my phone. That's my greenhouse alarm. This time of year, I go out every day at 4 o'clock to check the greenhouse to make sure everything is cool, because this is the time frame when it would start to cool down. Well, it never warmed up today, but it also never cooled down. It's 47 right now, which is toasty. Our snow is about half melted because we had 0.13 inches of rain today. So between the warm temperatures and the rain, we're almost out of snow, which is okay, except now we're full of mud. Anyway, back to this. This is the important part. This is awesome. So let's do a little quick comparison here. These are the usual 1020s. They're a standard greenhouse tray bottom, and these were the best ones we could find when we went to look for them. These suckers, I'm pushing as hard as I can on this, and that's as far as it flexes. If I were to do that with this, I would break it in half, and I don't want to do that. But pretty darn impressive. And So we got 5 of those, and we got 5 of the top trays. And again, you look at that. It doesn't even think about bending. It's solid, solid, solid. And I'm not getting anything from Hoss Tools or anybody else for this. I just want to share that we are excited because, you know, even without dirt in this thing, it's it's broken on the sides for being used. And like I said, I don't beat these things to death. They just crack. If you, and gosh forbid, if you ever were to pick up this full of dirt with some water in it, it breaks. So we decided we just had to make the investment. It's not cheap to get these, but they should last years and years and years. And we are excited. Anybody who knows me knows I like to grow a bazillion flowers. And these grow holes here are all sort of pyramid shaped, so that means they're smaller at the bottom than they are at the top. And they are designed to, with the grooves on the inside, cause the roots to grow straight down instead of wrapping around the way they do a lot of times. So between the fact that these are sturdy, 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 and the fact that they have that pyramid shape to them, we are really looking forward to this. So stay tuned and come back and see what we do with it this spring and winter. I don't know if we'll use it this winter yet, but for sure this spring and summer we will. So I hope you enjoyed this. It's these are amazing. I really wish I could figure out a way to, I suppose I could weigh them and let you know the weights, but other than that, these are just amazing. They're just super sturdy. I mean, to be able to hold it straight out like that, and the only thing that's tired is my wrist. I mean, they're not light at all. And I have great hopes that we'll have these another 5 years down the road and not even be thinking about replacing them. So I hope you find this interesting, and if you do, please hit that like button, and be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you see what other crazy stuff we're doing, because I guarantee there'll be plenty of crazy stuff again. We'll be doing an update on the December garden soon, and I think people will find that really interesting because, you know, we just had 20 inches of snow Thanksgiving, but we've got lots going on, even though there's been a little bit of weather. So, see you next time. Bye.
Hey friends, you're watching Brainstorm Acres. I'm Henry.
And your head is chopped off.
My head is always chopped off.
Ooh. Yeah, the whole, these are chopped off from about here up.